Welcome, everybody, again to the Modern Day Med Spa podcast here with Dean, Charmaine, and Mark. Again, here talking about how to grow your med spa. We're here today talking about daily huddles, and Dean's going to drop some knowledge about how these daily huddles can increase your efficiency and make your med spa a more tight-knit unit. Dean, what's going on, brother?
Just kicking like Bruce Lee every day, living the life, man, having fun.
I love it. I love it. Charmaine, what's going on down there in Pueblo?
Oh, just working on some stuff for the office and enjoyed my weekend off. So it's been good.
I love it. We just had Christmas over the holidays. We all had an awesome Christmas. We were just talking about some of the fun stuff that we did with our families. Hope you guys had an awesome Christmas as well. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Dean, you want to kick us off here with what's going on with and why we should be doing daily huddles?
Yeah, daily huddles, man. I love this. I like them for so many reasons, and I fell in love with them even more when I really started talking to Charmaine about them more, over a year ago, and the importance of them and all of that. So 2023 for me is the year of the modern day med spa. 2023 is going to be the year that a lot of making is done or a lot of breaking is done. And in order to make it, I think people are going to have to be more proactive with their communication, their channels, their cycles, and their cadence. And a great way to do that and to improve efficiency on that is to have a daily huddle. Mark, go ahead and take us on through here. Let's go ahead and go on down. So the daily huddle, when you're thinking about daily huddles, you need to understand first and foremost, these are not the same thing as a weekly staff meeting. Daily huddles are designed to be quick and efficient, and for several reasons. Go ahead, Mark. Let's keep on tracking on down, buddy. Good. Keep on going. Keep on going. Right here. This is where I want to be. So the benefits of team huddles. We're just going to briefly cover these. All right. Mark, if you can go to the screen with the four tiles right there. Boom. What are the benefits of team huddles? What are the structures of a daily team huddle and the tips for success in your team huddles? And then any final thoughts we'll address. Let's keep it cruising. So what are the benefits of team huddle? Mark, if you please. All right, so this is big. And the reason that we wanted to pull this up on the screen, because a lot of you are probably very visual like I am. So a team huddle is a rapid format meeting, right? Flying through the main objectives and letting everyone get back to their working day as quickly as possible. Now, this is massively important because we do not want to interrupt production. Production is king. These meetings are designed to increase efficiency in production, not to take away. So the 15-minute format is the way to go, all right? It's the perfect amount of time to be able to get all the information you need to and get on with your day. Let's keep it
going. Common mistake we see on these is when a team comes in and they're like, hey, how's it going? And they talk about their stories and stuff like that. That already takes up 15 minutes when it's like, hey, this is what we need to be doing. This is what happened yesterday. Next, right?
That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I'm glad you said that, because here's the 4 benefits of this format. Speed. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't get in the way of productivity. Unity. It brings everybody together first thing in the morning, right? So everybody can get on the same page. Immediacy. These are the things that you need to address in the here and now. If you're only having weekly meetings, this is okay. It's better than only having monthly meetings. But immediacy, there is always something that comes up during the week that needs to be addressed then and now. It's best to have everybody right there involved every morning. So when these things come up, they can be addressed right then and now. And that brings us to alignment. Again, everybody is on the same page. Everybody knows who is working to what end to benefit the greater good of the business as a whole. Charmaine, real quickly, when you have your team huddles, I know one of the big things for you is, one, it's about bringing the people together, but 2, it's more about getting everybody doing the right things throughout the day, right? Kind of like, for lack of a better term, herding the group together and making sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. So really what we do is we prep the day before. So like say if it's Friday or Tuesday, we prep Friday, we look at the holes in the schedule. We see our clients that actually are coming in, what they possibly will need, or what they would be interested in. So we do that. We also talk about goals, what everybody's goal set is as far as monetary goes. And, we just kind of come together and go team. It's really like literally like a huddle, like in basketball, like when you're getting ready to make play, you
You're
just
calling your play, right? You're calling the play for the day.
everybody knows where to go with a screen, all that good stuff. So
Yeah, that's a great way to look at that. It is a huddle, and like you could skip this. An owner might be like, "Oh, my team, like that's just too much. That's micromanaging. That's too much. They want this. Your team actually wants this. They want the clarity. They want all of this, and they want the unity. That's what they crave.
They
that's
don't
what
want it. They need it. They need
Yeah.
it. Another on the flip side of that is the owner assuming. And we know what they say about the word assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. But a lot of owners have this assumption that their team is 100% on point, ready to go, and knows what the fuck they're doing every day.
Yeah.
That is
That's what
arrogance at its finest, and that will cripple your business.
Yeah, that's
you
one
could.
of the biggest,
Go ahead,
that's
Jermaine.
one of the biggest mistakes I did, just because I was working, like say today is Monday, we're off, just because I was working all day and I'm excited about things and I mentally have been putting things in place. I assume my
Team is doing the same.
team is doing the same thing, and it's not that case. You have to have communication, and that's one of the things Dean and I have worked on over the last year. Really have opening my communication with them. So
Yeah, Dean, talk about like if someone might be like, "Oh, well, can I just send an email?"
Absolutely not, because email is impersonal. The last thing you want your team to do first thing in the morning is start opening emails, right? This is counterproductive in a lot of ways. If you can bring people together and address it verbally, not just vocally. Vocally is just making noise. Verbally, use your words so it's not just noise. It goes a lot further in a shorter amount of time. When you have an email, you're just reading the email. There's a lot left open to interpretation and perspective. Whereas if you're speaking to somebody, you can check their ownality, which you know the importance of by how they're speaking, their inflection, so on and so forth. And you can see their excitement and the motivation behind getting across what they need to get across. Plus, you can share yours back with the team as well. Whereas an email, if you're constantly just going back and forth, it's taking up way too much time and it's not efficient.
Exactly. So as an example, this can also help with your culture as well, right? How fast it's going, the tone at which you use, and the importance of which you do it. The more consistent you are, the more consistent they'll be throughout their things. And as an example, an esthetician could come in and say, today is Monday. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday I had 7 appointments. 6 of them showed up. I generated this much cash, and today I'm scheduled for this much. That's really all they need to report at that point, right? And then you can kind of add on whatever you need to make sure that they stay on track.
Absolutely, 100%. So what are the structures of the huddle? Now, the thing with the huddle is that you should always carry the same cadence. Consistency is king with your huddle, so it shouldn't differ day to day, right? You should address the same things over and over, because back to your point, Mark, this develops culture. You want a culture of consistency, of clarity, and of predictability, right? We want to know. So you're ready to go, ready to engage, and ready to fire at the moment. You come in, everybody says their hello to their colleagues, boom, boom, boom. You get that done real quick, and then it's on to the next.
Right. 100%. Absolutely.
So these are the shining stars, right? These are the North Stars of a good daily huddle. So one thing you want to do, and this should only take a few minutes, 3-4 minutes tops. Okay. You want to be moving, kind of like how we're fast pacing right now. We're doing this so we can kind of exemplify what we're talking about with your huddle. So you want to go over the accomplishments from yesterday. I love talking about wins. Okay. There's nothing better to start the day than just freaking dropping some win bombs on the rest of the team. Quickly cover the previous day, highlight any breakthroughs, positive feedback to the team, get them started. If you hit any sales records, if you got some amazing reviews, if someone finally sold their very first high ticket package, go over the daily goal. This is a monetary goal. You should have very specific daily goals that you need to meet to hit your monthly. So your monthlies can hit your quarterly and your quarterlies can hit your yearly goals, right? That's big. So accomplishments from yesterday, very, very big to start the day. Any company or people updates. Now, this is really big too. This is part of that minutia I was talking about on why it doesn't just work to have weekly meetings, right? Things are going to come up throughout the week. So if anybody happened in the business as a whole overnight, you can share that with the company, spread that news, and then just get it out there so everybody knows. So like if there's you're picking up a new product or a new device, or you're thinking about it. If you have to get somebody covered because of off time, sick leave, if there's a bad review that got left, how are you going to address that? These are things that need to be discussed, and they come up during the week. So waiting an entire week is not going to get it done.
And one of the common pitfalls you might see on these is when you have something that comes up during the week where they're like, hey, we got this new product. And then people start to say, oh, let's talk about that now. No, that's not, now is not the time. As an owner, as a manager, you need to have the product ready, set the meeting that where you will talk about that, and then introduce it and tease it in this particular meeting right here and say, hey, we'll talk about this tomorrow at 1 p.m. Be ready for that. That's all you really need to do.
Fantastic point, Mark. That's huge. That's huge. Time and a place. And the daily huddle isn't that time or that place. Now, on to the third thing, top priorities of the day. And this is going to vary based on the team member, right? What their role is with the company. So you're going to go around the circle, allow everyone to speak and share what their number one priority is of that day. This addresses accountability right off the bat. I am going to do this. I have 7 treatments planned for today. And I also know that I need to do inventory on our toxins or whatever it might be, right? This way, the manager, the COO, the owner knows that everybody knows what they're doing. This is also a way to get your front desk in line. Like if there are holes in the calendar day, right? Let's go ahead and look at those and let's see if we can't get some of those holes filled and booked. And I like to do something, and we'll talk about this on another episode, but this is where your seed clients or your VIP members or your big spenders really come into play, and how you can actually deepen the bond in the relationship with these people by letting them have first dibs at those holes in the calendar and getting them in faster. You also need to address what promotions or specials are going. So this is big. And I think I don't like to be repetitive, but I like to be consistent, right? So if you have a special going on during the month, don't just leave it to knowing what it is on the first of the month and never speak of it again, assuming that everybody is going to push it that day. Daily huddles are super important to remind, hey, remember our special is this. So when you're talking to your clients throughout the day, if they or someone they know might be interested in this, let's go ahead and educate them on it, right? So that's super big, super big. Quick questions, all right? So whenever you have any kind of meeting, it doesn't matter if it's a sprint like this or a marathon like some of the quarterly meetings, there's going to be questions that arise. These are questions that you need to respond to quickly with an answer, or let's circle back to that. If it's a long, open-ended question that requires a little bit more detail in answering, schedule it for later, another time. The daily huddle is not the time. It is not the place, right? Exactly. And especially because some of these questions that arise, they just can't be fixed quickly, right? So after that, let's get a break. Everybody put their hands in the center. 1, 2, 3, go team, whatever the hell you do. If you want to do that at all, break and take off and go forth and crush the fucking day.
It's like, right. So if you guys are listening on the podcast in order of this daily structure for a daily huddle, step 1, accomplishments from yesterday. Step 2, any updates. Step 3, your top priorities. And step 4, quick questions.
Break. That's it. That's all there is to it. So as you can see here, by speeding through these sections and keeping time limits, you'll be able to make sure that your team gets all the information they need without a big time commitment. These are just so important for client or your team, the mentality. Some people have meetings just to have meetings about meetings that they're going to have meetings about, right? This isn't that. This is highly intentional, very quickly paced, fast, boom, boom. It serves the greater good. Everybody gets on the same page and you go. Go ahead, Mark. So some tips for your daily huddle success. Once you've got the general structure down, you'll be well on your way to running a team huddle that hits all the key points. Remember, don't skip and bounce around. Keep the same order, the same structure, right? Give everyone a chance to speak. Have people stand. Don't let them sit down. This is big. Have people stand. When people sit down, they get comfortable. They get lackadaisical. They tend to go on tangents, right? Do not plan projects Only use action items for your daily huddles, right? So this isn't a like, well, let's sit down and talk about an offer we want to run in January if it's the end of December. No, there's another time and another place for that. This doesn't do that. Stay on topic and make sure they're done first thing in the morning before the workday starts. So
100%.
your workday starts at 9 o'clock. Everybody should be there at 8:35. Meeting starts at 8:40. You're done 5 to 9. You get going and you rock and roll.
Love that. I think one of the biggest tips that I've seen for this is if you yourself are high energy, run the meeting.
Absolutely.
If that's not you, get somebody who is high energy, because that sets the tone for this meeting. And if it's not done correctly, and if people can't hear that the meeting has started, or that something is going on, and this is like the highlight of the day where everybody comes in real quick and real fast, then they're just the culture is set that it's not going to be the right thing. But if you have energy in this is where it really pays off.
It really does. And you know what? When you're starting these, if you haven't done daily huddles before, don't be afraid to literally whip out your phone and set an alarm, right?
100%.
These topics should take 1 to 3 minutes. You've got 5 topics to cover, 15 minutes done. So each topic that you're going to be going on those 5 points, aside from the break shouldn't take you more than freaking 5 seconds. But those 4 topics, you're looking at potentially 5 minutes each, maybe 6 minutes. Set the time. And get the hell out of there. And you'll get better as you go. You'll get more efficient. But again, you have to be consistent.
100%. Absolutely.
So one of the things here, just kind of leaning into it, is it gives everybody a chance to speak, right? If you have somebody who's a little more shy on your team, if you have somebody that maybe they're not really good at communication. They're masterful in the back room. They have a steady hand, but their communication isn't up to par. This is a good chance for them to practice that by giving them a chance to speak, coming out of their shell a little bit and developing some confidence. What this is going to do in turn is get them more comfortable with talking to your clients and customers, therefore deepening the bonds with them, increasing the potential for upsell and higher value ticket items.
Love that.
Yep. Standing up again, briefly, stand up, don't sit down. Everybody should be standing for these. Again, you sit down, you get lethargic, you get lackadaisical, there's a tendency to rant and rave. Standing up, make sure that everybody is ready to go. They know that you're just getting in and getting out. It's like a hit and run. Gone. Go ahead, Mark. Action items only. Beautiful. Big difference between a scrum meeting or a daily huddle and a weekly team meeting is obviously due to the shorter time frame. You're going to be focusing on action items and action items of the day. Again, these aren't projects. This isn't skill development. This isn't self-development. You're just doing action items that are going to keep the team on track. And just in a few minutes, everybody will have clarity for the day and be able to go and conduct their business accordingly. So just if you stick to the action items, again, and I can't stress this enough, if you stick to the action items of the day only, you will be in and out in 15 minutes and everybody will be much better off. Staying on topic. When you're first starting these, it's going to be super crucial that you keep people on topic, because you want to keep a meeting in as straight a line as possible. Ultimately, what ends up happening is if there are questions or a very specific structure isn't followed, they'll get off this straight line. Whoever is running that meeting, it is your responsibility to get them back on the straight line. So again, it's like you're herding cattle, right? If we're going from point A to point B, if you watch Yellowstone, I watched the hell out of Yellowstone. We just watched a couple episodes where they're driving cattle, and if a few go out of bounds, the chances of them getting attacked by another animal, breaking a leg or something like that are exponentially increased. So if you don't want your staff to get attacked by wild animals or break any legs, make sure that you keep them on the straight, even path.
The other example I had, Dean, was, if you watch the Oscars and someone's going a little long in the speech, what do you start to hear? You start to hear the music playing you see hear the music playing in the background, like, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's go. So that's what I was thinking on that one.
Don't let them roll the credits on you.
No, roll the credits. Let's go. Exactly.
Yep. And again, this is first thing in the morning before the day gets started. Daily huddles are meant to talk about what needs to be done in the action items going forward. These aren't reflective meetings discussing how everybody did during the day that just happened, right? That's the long and the short of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Final thoughts, have a daily huddle, be better, make a faster and better impact with your team, make faster and better impact with your clients, and make more money.
100%. Yep. Get this done, guys. If you guys want to hear an example of this, we will get one for you as soon as possible. Go to audacityconsulting.group, subscribe to this podcast where you'll get first dibs on when our podcasts get released here. So you get some free content to make your med spa hit that 7-figure run rate over the next year in 2023. Lots of love, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode.